So, Beers, we've had a ton of questions coming through on who to target for head-to-head. Well, head-to-head fantasy players, you're getting some love today. 5 guys you need to target for your head-to-head team. First one here is Adam Reynolds. Look, he's at a discount, 648K. Do you think he's a hot buy this week, Biz?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of people talking whether he makes the Origin team. I just don't see it happening. I think they're probably going to get someone younger in there who can be Cleary's backup to the future, or Cleary's halves partner. So if he doesn't make the Origin team, he's a rock solid buy. He's shown that he can score really well, and I think Brisbane are not healthier this year than they were last year, and they're a good team. So I think he's going to score a lot of points, and he's a good point of difference as well.
Yeah, he's a monster, and look, he's cheap right now too. He was up around 750K. You're getting a 100K discount. The buys are good for head-to-head. Easy buy. Next guy here is the more premium half. You're paying nearly 200K more for Shaun Johnson. Now, Shawnee is a 63 average this year. Adam Reynolds is more that 50 average type of guy. So you're getting a 13-point premium if Shaun can keep it going. The Warriors buys are fine too. They're not going to affect you too much as a head-to-head player. So coming off a 95-point game, if you want to buy a Shaun at any point, now's the time. Otherwise, you're going to be paying a bit of a premium there. Let's see, what did he go up? So he went up 32K last week. So if he goes big again, you're going to be out of pocket another 40K. Pull the trigger now or don't get Shaun at any point.
Yeah, I feel like you pretty much should. I feel like you should try and get as many guys in your team that average 60 plus as you can. And Shaun's one of the few that average over 60. And, obviously, as a head-to-head player, you don't have to worry as much about buys. But the good thing about Shaun is he's no chance of Origin. So there's never going to be those games where he's backing up and only playing like half a game or a chance of being rested. So, every round the Warriors play, Shaun Johnson's 80 minutes unless he's injured. And, 60 plus most weeks.
Yeah, he's a weapon. Then you got Herbie Farnworth, 615K. Look, you're paying a bit of a premium for a genuine center here, but he's a guy who's averaging 46 points a game. He's in a fantastic Broncos attack. He's had games where he scored very well without attacking stats too. It's not the norm, but he's getting his hands on the ball a lot. Do you like him as a center option here, Biss?
Yeah, I do. And the one thing I really like about head-to-head players, I like, racking up those pods. And Herbie is one of those pods who not many people own, when you're in a head-to-head player, the last thing you want is get to the final and lose because you've got a player who, is just as likely to put out a 10 as he is a 50. And that could really, decide your week. And obviously you need to go for the upside, but why don't you just go for a player with both upside and a really solid floor? Well, that's Herbie Farnworth. He can, go 60 plus in this really strong Broncos team, but he's shown enough base stats that he's not going to sink your, playoff push for like a 15-point game. So, yeah, great pick.
His lowest score is 34, which is insane.
That's amazing for a center. I'm pretty sure like 80% of my center scores this year have been below 34 because, it's a terrible spot.
Yeah, and look, even looking at his run meters, there's not a game below 100 meters. There's plenty above 200.
Yeah, he's great.
He's fantastic. Yeah. Next guy here is Jake Turpin, and look, we talk about Turpin a lot in buy, hold, sell. So check that out when you look at the cash cows section. That comes up second. But for Turpin, I'm going to keep it really simple. The Roosters buys are fine for head-to-head. He averages 50 points a game. When he gets 60-plus minutes, he'll make you money.
Yeah, I got nothing more to add. That's an easy one. I think at 370K, a 60-minute hooker who's got good historical work rate in a good team. Yeah, no-brainer.
Beauty. I'd love to get your thoughts on Timoko. Look, I'll just grab his stats here first.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll quickly talk about... or if you've already got the stats, then perfect.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm setting you up here, mate. Just teeing you up like Matt Timoko does for his outside man. But look, he was a guy who was a premium center option. Right, and he's had 2 games where he scored 16 and 15 points back-to-back. These feel like outlier games for me, and they've dropped his price quite significantly. He's then come back with a 47-point game. That was after dropping 21K, 59K, 31K. So you're looking at about 110K as a discount. 540K for him when he was 650K a couple of weeks ago. It's interesting. Would you think he's a guy who's going to bounce back?
Yeah, absolutely. I love Timoko. He's just such a gun player. Like, he's such a good, tackle busting, line breaking center. And at 540k, he doesn't play next week, but as a head-to-head player, it doesn't matter. Like I'm an overall player, but he's the guy I'm looking at in round 17. So a head-to-head player, like get him in your team. He's another guy. Like he's kind of like the one I talked about, where it's unlike Herbie, he does have the floor games, but they're quite few and far between. And Timoko's a guy who I can just see scoring 100 one day as a center. Like he is just a guy who can have that Stafford Toa like performance where he's just running over someone multiple times a game, and just fun to watch. Like the thing about fantasy is like you just got to remember you want to own players that you want to watch, and it's fun to watch them break tackles and offload and score tries. So I love Timoko. Yeah, great pick at 540k. He's cheap for what he can do.
Speaking of fun to watch, we just cracked 4,000 subscribers. So if you want to be part of the Casual Athlete crew, win your fantasy leagues and get all the inside scoops, make sure to subscribe, because right now only 40% of our viewers are subscribing. So join the clan or stop watching. Nah, keep watching. Keep watching. We love you. We'll see you in the next fantasy video.